Breaking news here on the Ravens Rundown. The Baltimore Ravens have hired their new offensive coordinator, Todd Monken, from the two-time national champion Georgia Bulldogs. Hello, everybody. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us as we react to this big-time news as Todd Monken will make his way officially to Baltimore with the announcement coming this morning on the Ravens official social media accounts. They got the news out before any of the insiders did. This was pretty quiet, this move for the Ravens to go forward with Todd Monken. As we followed this offensive coordinator search over the last couple of weeks, there wasn't a clear front runner necessarily. There wasn't anything really leaked out. And now we get to this point where Todd Monken is officially hired. He is the guy to lead this offense going forward. We will tell you more about Todd Monken right now. And you look at the resume, it all just kind of speaks for itself. And we told you on this program for several months back, you can go back and check the tape in November, Todd Monken is the guy that I wanted to be the Ravens' next offensive coordinator. I was on record with that, said that a long time ago, and ultimately they listened. We told you, we know what we're talking about here on Ravens Rundown when we recommended Todd Monken to be the next OC for the Ravens. He did an incredible job with the Georgia Bulldogs the last couple of seasons. His NFL track record is pretty solid, and now you bring him to Baltimore to try to fix this offense. I think this is a wonderful hire from Baltimore. My one-word reaction is awesome. It's all these superlatives that you can think of to describe this. To me, this was a perfect hire by the Baltimore Ravens. What is your one-word reaction to the Ravens hiring Todd Monken? We'll tell you more about Todd Monken, go over his resume, and give you some statistics here in just a moment. But want to hear from you guys first. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it. And tell me what your one-word reaction is to the Ravens hiring Todd Monken. Now, when it comes to the system, we know that Todd Monken likes his tight ends. We saw 12 personnel, a decent amount with the Georgia Bulldogs this past year. And that plays to the Ravens' strength. You look at the Ravens' tight end room, it's as good as any in the National Football League with Mark Andrews leading the way. Isaiah Likely had a really good rookie campaign. Charlie Kolar, although he was injured for most of last year, there's a lot of potential of what Kolar could bring to the table. You look at a guy that the way he played at Iowa State was actually very similar to Mark Andrews. So that's very good that he could play to the strengths there. That's one of the things that I talked about Todd Monken is when you looked over his career, even dating back to his days at Oklahoma State when he was the offensive coordinator there, was he always adapted to the personnel that was there and played to his strengths. His offense at Georgia was a whole lot different than his offense at Oklahoma State. To me, this made sense. And the first goal for Todd Monken, what he has to do with this group is build the passing game back up. They have to have a pass game that is effective. And you have to get the receivers involved. The tight ends will be nice, but when you look at these numbers, no matter what, the leading receivers from Baltimore, that is simply not good enough. Demarcus Robinson being your top receiver this past year is not going to fly by in 2023. You can't have a receiver leading your way with just under 500 yards as your top receiver. I know Mark Andrews is basically wide receiver number one, but somebody else is going to have to step up to the table. Yes, you're going to have to get better talent, whether it's through trades or free agency or the draft, and we've talked a lot about those options at the receiver position. But schematically, you're going to have to find ways to open up more in the passing game to get those receivers involved. That is going to be the first goal that Todd Monken needs to accomplish in Baltimore, is finding ways to get those receivers in this offense, not only using the tight ends effectively, which we know he can do, but finding ways for Lamar Jackson to connect with those receivers where they can take things up another level. Grade the hire of Todd Monken. I give it an A. How could you not give this hire an A? He is everything this team was looking for in a new offensive coordinator. Tell me in the comments section, grade it for me, A, B, C, D, or F. I know there's going to be some people out there that'll say, well, it's a college hire. Are not going to be excited about that. But to me, this is different than any typical college hire. It's a guy with NFL experience that's been successful everywhere. Grade it for me, A, B, C, D, or F. What do you think of the hire at Todd Monken? Folks, this is why you subscribe to the channel. We know what we're talking about. We told you a long time ago that Todd Monken needed to be the new offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. We said it before anyone else in the mainstream media did. We jumped to it from day one, really from day zero. We told you that Todd Monken needed to be the guy. And here we are today, and Todd Monken is going to be the next OC of the Baltimore Ravens. If that isn't reason enough to subscribe to the channel, I don't know what to tell you, because obviously we were on it like glue from the beginning on this. So never miss a video. Turn on notifications. We got live shows coming as well. Subscribe now. Doesn't cost you a thing. YouTube.com/RavensTV. We'll be live later on this afternoon with more on this hire as well as the rest of the happenings in Baltimore. We'll tell you about it. Join us here today on Ravens Rundown. You won't want to miss it. Subscribe now for free. Now, we were told that Lamar Jackson would have a say in the offensive coordinator hire, that John Harbaugh was 200% committed to Lamar Jackson being the starting quarterback for the future of this Baltimore Ravens team, and that he would have direction in how this offense was going to look in the future. You look at these scoring numbers the past couple of seasons. Year one under Greg Roman was fantastic, right? They were number one in scoring offense, and every single year they got worse. They took a significant drop-off, and they were a shell of themselves from what they were in 2019. Meanwhile, you look at Georgia. Everybody talks so much about their defense, and their defense was historically good in college football the last couple of seasons, but don't forget about the offense. And unlike what we saw from the Ravens the last couple of seasons, Georgia's offense got better year by year under Todd Monken, going from 32.3 points a game in 2020 to 21, going to 38.6, and then in 2022, over 40 points a game, and not to mention, who was their quarterback? Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett doesn't have much talent at all, and he made him a Heisman finalist. I mean, they ought to build a statue for Todd Monken in Georgia for that type of effort that he was able to pull off there. So to me, this guy is a miracle worker. This is a home run hire. I hope Lamar's happy about it. He should be. This totally makes sense for the Baltimore Ravens. So, with that said, since we were told that Lamar would have a say in the hire, do you believe that? Is that mean Lamar is more likely to stay with the Baltimore Ravens now that Todd Monken is the OC going forward? If you think so, type Y for yes. If not, type in for no. Let me know what you're thinking. Is Lamar more likely to stay now that Todd Monken is that guy? You can interact with me on social media. If you hate the hire, you can tell me about it. It's okay. If you love the hire, tell me that too. Talking about your Ravens on those social media platforms. More to come later this afternoon. Join us for a Ravens Rundown Live. We will see you then. Have a great day.